Everything you've been told about the golden calf misses the hidden truth. At Mount Sinai's base, the air remained thick with the scent of smoke and thunder. The people panicked after Moses vanished into the clouds for 40 days. The mountain still glowed from God's presence. These former slaves had seen the 10 plagues, the blood on the doorposts, the angel of death, the Red Sea split in two. Yet their faith wavered fast. In the empty desert, they felt abandoned without their leader. The invisible God felt distant. They wanted something solid, something they could see to guide them forward like the gods of Egypt. They turned to Aaron with their demand. "Make us gods that can go before us. We don't know what happened to this Moses." Aaron listened and asked for their gold earrings. The earrings from their Egyptian neighbors were melted down. With careful hands, Aaron formed the shape of a calf. It stood as a symbol of strength and fertility in the ancient Near East. The next day, the people gathered early. "These are your gods, Israel," they declared, "who brought you out of Egypt." An altar was raised, sacrifices offered. Feasting and wild dancing followed. Up on the mountain, God spoke to Moses. "Your people have become corrupt. They made an idol and bowed to it. My wrath burns hot against them. I will consume them and start over with you." Moses pleaded for mercy. "Remember your promises to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. What will the Egyptians say if you destroy them now?" The Lord listened and relented from the planned destruction. Carrying the stone tablets, Moses and Joshua descended. The tablets were God's own writing. Joshua mistook the camp noise for war. Moses knew it was singing and celebration. The scene that met their eyes broke Moses' heart. The golden calf stood tall in the sunlight. The people danced with abandon, lost in revelry and idolatry under the golden desert sun. In fury, Moses smashed the tablets on the rocks. The law lay shattered like their broken covenant. He destroyed the calf, burning it and grinding it into powder, making them drink the mixture. Moses called for those loyal to the Lord. The Levites came forward. He sent them through the camp with swords to bring justice on the worst offenders. 3,000 men died that day. The camp that rang with songs now echoed with sorrow. Moses climbed the mountain again to intercede. He offered his own life for theirs if God would not forgive the great sin. God answered that the guilty would bear their own blame. A plague followed as consequence. Yet the people were not wiped out. Moses' prayer had turned away total destruction. The golden calf was not merely a statue. It revealed a deeper problem in the human heart. Impatience had replaced trust. A visible idol replaced the invisible God who acts in his own time. The Israelites had been free for mere months. Their memories of miracles were still fresh. But the wait at the mountain proved too long for their weary faith to endure without faltering. Aaron's choice to yield shows how even leaders can stumble under pressure. The calf he made echoed the bull gods of Egypt, a familiar comfort in unfamiliar territory. Their worship mixed feasting with immorality. It violated every command they had received. The celebration was hollow because it was built on rebellion against the very God who saved them. God's conversation with Moses on the mountain displays both his justice and his openness to relationship. Moses stood boldly as mediator between a holy God and a rebellious people. Descending with the tablets in hand, Moses embodied the tension between divine law and human failure. The shattering of stone was more than anger, it was grief for what had been lost. Forcing the people to drink the ground idol was a profound act of judgment. It showed the worthlessness of their God. It entered their bodies as a lasting reminder of their foolishness. The Levites' response proved their loyalty. They chose God over family ties in that moment. Their obedience became the reason they were set apart for priestly service in the years that followed. Moses' willingness to be blotted out for his people foreshadows a greater intercessor who would come. His love for them reflected the heart of the God he served. In the end, God renewed the covenant. New tablets were carved. The journey to Canaan continued. But Israel carried the memory of the calf as a caution against future idolatry. This story from Exodus chapter 32 challenges us to look at our own waiting seasons. When God is silent, Do we build substitutes, or do we hold on in faith? The golden calf teaches that our greatest threats often come not from outside enemies, but from within our own restless hearts. Patience is a forgotten virtue in our instant world. God's mercy triumphed over judgment that day at Sinai. It reminds us that failure is never the end of the story when we return with honest hearts. As we reflect on these events, we see patterns that repeat throughout Scripture and in our lives. The call is always to turn from idols back to the living God who delivers. If these sacred chronicles resonate with you, consider joining us on this journey through the Bible's most powerful moments. Subscribe to Sacred Chronicles HQ for more thoughtful cinematic explorations of faith and history. Turn on the notification bell and share this video with friends who might need this message about patience in the waiting. Your support allows us to keep uncovering these hidden stories from Scripture. Thank you for being part of Sacred Chronicles HQ.